Okay, welcome everybody to Old Colony Joint Transportation Committee meeting of this month. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I would like to, out of Article 2, public comment. Does anybody have any public comments they'd like to talk about? Seeing none, let's go with the accessibility statement that I need to read. This meeting is being accessible to is accessible to people with disability. Microphones and telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon advance request. If you would like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Walden at 508-583-1833. This notice of non-discrimination rights and protections to the beneficiaries with regards to federal Title VI non-discrimination protection and the state non-discrimination protection is posted on the meeting room in this meeting room and is available online at the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Walden at 508-583-1833 for more information. Thank you. That being said, we'll continue with our meeting. The next agenda item is we need a motion for minutes of January 5th, 2023. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second?
Motion. Second.
Okay. Do we need a roll call on this to pass it?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess we got to do that.
Yep. Town of Abington.
Yes.
Thank you, John. Town of Avon. Town of Bridgewater.
Yes.
Thank you. City of Brockton. Town of Duxbury. Town of East Bridgewater. Town of Easton.
Greg Swan, Easton DPW.
Thanks, Greg. Town of Halifax. Town of Hanover. Town of Hanson.
Yes, Don Howard.
Thank you, Don. Town of
Jameson
Kingston.
Shave, Hampton Highway.
Thank you, James. Town of Kingston.
Yes.
Thank you. Town of Pembroke. Town of Plymouth. Town of Plimpton. Town of Stoughton. Town of West Bridgewater. And Town of Whitman.
Yes, Dan Salvucci.
Thank you. And Brockton Area Transit.
Yes.
Thank you. And MassDOT District 5. Okay,
That it?
that's it.
Thank you very much. We'll go to item 4, communication. Sean, I believe this is you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Number of items for the communications packet for this month. The first is an announcement. Biden-Harris administration announces historic $800 million for more than 500 projects to improve roads at the local level and tackle national traffic fatalities. These grant awards are for 510 projects through the new Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program. The competitive grant program established by President Biden's historic infrastructure law provides $5 billion over 5 years for regional, local, and tribal initiatives. The department has launched a data visualization tool that shows crash hotspots that can help target needed resources. Old Colony Planning Council was awarded $320,000 for the development of a regional Safe Streets for All comprehensive action plan. On behalf of the Old Colony MPO, OCPC will develop a comprehensive safety action plan for the region. 17 communities served by the Old Colony MPO have a combined population of approximately 393,000 people. An estimated 2.8% of the population live in census tracts in Brockton that are underserved and historically disadvantaged. And the objective of this action plan is to use a data-driven, safe system approach to identify high-risk and high-hazard areas within the region and propose potential projects and policies aimed at reducing risk of serious injury for all users of our transportation network. The next item is raise discretionary grants. The USDOT has published a notice of funding opportunity for $1.5 billion in grant funding through the Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity discretionary grant program for 2023. For anybody who's interested, the deadline for applications is 11:59 p.m. on February 28th of this year, and selections will be announced at latest June 28th. The next item is join USDOT on February 8th for a webinar on preparing for the upcoming discretionary grant opportunities. So kind of in connection with what was just previously mentioned, there will be a session held February 8th from 3 to 4 p.m. To register, please click on the hyperlink. Next item is a Massachusetts Safe Routes to School spring webinar titled New Tools for Schools. It'll be held April 26th of this year from 10 to 11 in the morning. To register, please visit the hyperlink in the staff report. Next item is the Massachusetts Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Board. Save the dates. The upcoming meetings for the rest of this year. There will be meetings in March, May, July, September, and November. Please, the Zoom info for the meeting remains the same. So if you would like to join the meetings on the specific dates listed here, you can click on the Zoom hyperlink or just enter the meeting ID to join. And for more information, please contact Pete Sutton, who is the Bicycle and Pedestrian Coordinator. And that is communications.
Thank you very much, Sean. We'll move on to item 5, reports. Brockton Area Transit Authority back. It's either Mike or Glenn. Which one? Who's
Thank you,
got it?
Mr. Chair. I'll be reporting this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just a few updates this morning. We want to just mention that our Rockland Micro Transit Service, which kicked off in December, is ongoing. Ridership has been steady. We're working internally on looking at our performance measures and also working on our MassDOT. We have a memorandum of understanding with them that we revisit annually, also in regards to our performance measures. And that's all I have this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item B, Greater GATRO, Greater Attleboro Taunton Regional Transportation Authority. Sean, GATRO, who's covering it?
Is Mary Ellen DeFrias on this meeting? Okay, she does not appear to be, but just looking at the news page on their website, looks like they will be having a COVID-19 vaccine clinic at the Attleboro train station Monday, February 6th and Friday, March 10th from 10 a.m. To 2 p.m. And more recently, there is a Gatra Coast Seacoast service that is going on in Scituate. The service started January 30th and will be free until February 28th. And then after that, it will be $2 a trip for that service. There will be a public meeting held on February 6th regarding route changes to the Attleboro routes 10, 11, 12, and 14. It will be at 4 p.m. at the Attleboro train station on February 6th. If you are unable to attend and would like feedback, you can contact GATRA so that you can still provide public comments. And that looks like that is everything.
Thank you very much, Sean. And item C, South Coast Rail. I guess you're up again. Busy, very busy man today.
Yes, thank you. So as everybody knows, South Coast Rail will be restoring commuter rail service between Boston down to the cities of Taunton, Fall River, and New Bedford, as they are the only major cities within 50 miles of Boston without commuter rail service. It's a project that has been going on for quite some time. In the past month, work that was conducted was continued fencing installations along 8 communities in the Fall River and Middleborough Secondary, as well as the New Bedford main lines. Shoulder and lane closures on Route 140 southbound in Taunton for curb and sidewalk installation. Daytime signal work in Berkeley. Water main work at the Samuel Barnett Boulevard crossing in New Bedford. and signal system installation and testing on the Fall River and Middleborough secondary, as well as New Bedford main lines. If anybody is interested in signing up for the weekly updates for this project, you can click on the hyperlink in the staff report, enter in your email address, and receive the automatic updates. And that is all I have.
Thank you very much, Sean. Moving on to old business, item 6A for the fiscal year 23 to 27 Transportation Improvement Program, TIP implementations. And I believe there's one amended item from the 23 to 27. Bill, that's you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we, at the January NPO meeting, the NPO released an amendment to the 23-27 Transportation Improvement Program. It's to program in some new grant awards from the MassDOT's Community Transit Grant Program. So they reviewed it and they released it out to a public review and comment period, and that's currently going on now. Let's skip. So the MassDOT awarded 4 community transit grant awards in total in our region. You can see them on your screen here. So one is the Bridgewater Council on Aging, with total cost of $27,000, split between federal and local. Brockton Area Transit received a grant to expand service to the town of Rockland in a total of $275,000. Old Colony Planning Council received a grant of $60,000 to provide operational assistance, namely mileage reimbursement to their volunteer transportation program. And finally, but not least, South Shore Community Action Council received total $250,000 for operation assistance for their transportation program. So you want to skip forward? So this is the actual amendment that's out for public review and comment right now. You can jump ahead. Okay. And then this is just a recap what I just went through. And finally, this is what the transit section of the TIP looks like now. So the projects in yellow, if you recall, we did have earlier in December, we had an adjustment to adjust the total cost on Brockton Area Transit Project, and that was approved. So that's the yellow reflects that adjustment, and then in the lighter green shading, these are the 4 additions to the transit section of the TIP through the Section 5310 program, the community transit grants. And I will note that these projects are basically new additions. They're grants from MassDOT. They do not change the funding in any existing projects. They don't bump any projects. It's basically new projects being added to the TIP. But since they are new projects, it does require it to go through the formal amendment process. So I'm happy to entertain any questions. And if not, I would seek this committee's acceptance and endorsement by roll call vote of amendment
So
1.
moved.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on it?
If I may, just want to mention, per usual, we'd like to thank MassDOT for for their interest in our ongoing service in Rockland as part of the community transit grant. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Town of Abington,
Yes,
Uh,
yeah, sorry, I was on mute.
oh no worries. Thank you. Avon, Bridgewater,
Yes.
thank you. Brockton? East
Yes.
Bridgewater? Thank you. Duxbury? Easton?
Yes.
Thank you. Halifax? Hanover? Hanson?
yes,
Yes.
Thank you. Kingston?
Yes.
Thank you. Plymouth? Plimpton? Stoughton? West Bridgewater? Whitman?
Yes.
Thank you. Brockton Area Transit
Yes.
and MassDOT District 5.
Excuse me, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. Moving on to our next agenda item, 7, new business. MAPA's Regional Transportation Mapping Project. Andrew.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Regional Trails Mapping Project is a effort by DCR, Department of Conservation and Recreation, which is funding a grant for standardized statewide trail mapping. The 13 regional planning agencies with MAPC and Franklin Regional Council of Governments leading the grant application process have collaborated on developing a trail data standard and establishing workflows to streamline the aggregation of data from all the RPAs. The origin of this effort was in 2020 when Northern Middlesex shared their data standard for trail mapping. And there was some discussion at that point about what sort of data attributes would be included in a statewide data set, what would be most useful. And it provided the groundwork for what we're currently doing today, where we sought out, where the RPAs collectively sought out this grant opportunity. So our pre-existing trail data at that time and now was compiled from a variety of sources, but in almost all cases, it was digitized into GIS in the office, not out in the field. And this leads to some discrepancies in the locations of the trails, and it leads to incomplete data. So our hope is to build out the attributes in the current data to verify the locational accuracy, and then to contribute all of this to the state standard in whatever agreed upon format we come up with. So in November, this was led by MAPC and FERCOG. We had an interview with them about the state of our data and what we hope to achieve. And MAPC gathered a listing of all the possible attributes that the RPAs were collecting or would want to collect about their trails, and we ranked them by our own priorities. Fields would have included such essential information as the owner of the trail, what town it was located in, the length of the trail, to fields such as the surface type or whether biking is permitted, things that are considered useful but could be omitted from the standard for simplification. We want to go with the minimal viable product that would help most users. So we had a workshop in December. It was virtual and hosted in Worcester. And here we considered various use cases of the data, their needs and limitations. For example, a town planner might have an interest more in trail ownership and mapping, whereas a trail user might want to know about ADA accommodations if they were disabled, say. So we explored the different use cases of why someone might be accessing this data and how they would be accessing it, and discuss the importance of each attribute that we would include in the standard. So going forward, the RPAs are going to be the moderators of the standard. So when there's new trail information, we will either map that ourselves, or if we receive it from a town, we'll make sure it conforms with the standard and upload it. And it should be hosted by MassGIS or DCR, and be made accessible to the public that way. So the grant was in the amount of $5,000 for OCPC, and we're doing a 20% match on this.
That it, Andrew?
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Thank you very much. Moving on to B, development of fiscal year 2024 to 28, Transportation Improvement Program TIP, project status update. Bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as we develop the 24-28 TIP, which is starting to really roll out now, we're going through the process of looking at the projects that are in the either program in the existing 23-27 TIP, or projects that have been approved by PRC and are out there but haven't been programmed yet. And we're seeking project updates. So we invite project proponents to provide an update on their projects. And realizing that not all projects are represented at this meeting today, but so your staff report contains a basic information of latest updates for each project. But I figured we could just go through project by project, and if the proponent is here, and you know, by all means, we'd love to hear a brief update on the status of the project. So the first one on your screen there is Town of Abington intersection improvements at Hancock and Chestnut Street. This is currently programmed for federal fiscal year 2026. John, do you have a update on this?
Yes, Bill, thank you. The design is 25% complete, and our consultant is reviewing the second rounds of comments from Mass DOT. And they're in the process of scheduling a utility site meeting in the very near future.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next one is a project on state facility. It's in Abington and Brockton jurisdictions. Pedestrian bicycle improvements on Route 123. We have Representative Mastod provide a brief update on this.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. Let me see. Which one is this one? Abington and Brockton?
Yeah, the Route 123 project, bicycle and pedestrian improvements.
Bear with me. I got a long list here.
Yeah.
609520.
Of course, it's not on my list. That's weird.
How about intersection improvements at Randolph Street, Route 139?
Oh, 609520. I have it. I'm sorry.
Okay,
We have that. Section analysis, cross sections. The review was completed. The cross section review was completed in 22. I have for that in September of 22, and it's currently at 25%. We have this one in it's at 25, and I believe we have it in 2024 under section 4. But I can check on that also. 619520.
Okay. And so next one is intersection improvements on Randolph Street, Rich Fitz Drive, which is Route 139, at Chestnut Street and Old Randolph Street.
Thanks again, Bill. The project is pre 25% scoping. The checklist is complete.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the next one is one on state facility. 612700, Route 18 at Route 123.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
That's
know.
fine.
612525. Okay, that one we have was approved in fall of 2021, and the pre-scoping meeting is less than 25% complete. I guess it's still pre-scoping checklist was received in September. So I guess we're moving forward with that one. I'm not just have that it's less than 25% complete.
All right, so that covers the Town of Abington projects. Avon, we have intersection improvements at Route 28 Spring Street and Harrison Boulevard. This is 611979.
611979 Avon, less than 25% complete. And also we had a pre-scoping for this one in September of last year.
Thank you. And Avon corridor improvements on Route 1 corridor improvements on Route 28. I'm not sure if this is, I have to double check if this is a state facility or a town owned. I'm not sure. 610 804.
State.
Car improvements on Route 28, less than 25% complete. We have no new activity on this. Survey was done in a little while ago, so we have no activity on this one at all.
Okay. All right, thank you. And that covers Avon, Brockton, intersection.
Bluff.
I'm sorry, what was that?
And where, New Hampshire? Yeah, okay, I can do it right after my meeting then.
All right, so in Brockton, intersection improvements, related work, Center Street, Route 123 at Cary Street and Lyman Street. Currently programmed in 2024.
24, okay, we have the 75% submission is due in February, so it's currently at 25%. So we're
Okay.
waiting for the 75s.
Okay, thank you. Route 123 Center Street at Plymouth Street. Signalization and geometric improvements currently programmed in 2024.
Center Street and Plymouth Street, so 609052, is that the correct
Mhm.
number? Okay. We have that, it is currently at 25%. There was a comment resolution meeting held last year. I'm not sure if we're still waiting for a comment resolution meeting on this and then a utility meeting in DPH. Actually, Pam is just asking me to send her the invite so she can join the meeting.
Great,
If you bear with me one moment, let me.
no problem.
I think I sent her the correct one. I have so many things open.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Okay.
All right, so next one is
She usually has a lot more information than I do.
Okay.
She keeps it all in her head. She's so knowledgeable. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, no worries. So next one is Brockton improvements and related work at Crescent Street. Include Crescent Street at Grove Street, including the Grove Street Bridge. This is currently programmed in 2025. Project number 607818.
Okay, this is currently at 25s. The hydraulics geotechnical reports were reviewed. Comment resolution meeting for this was held on January 6th, and the revised 25s are due in April of this year for this project.
Thank you. And Brockton intersection improvements at Crescent Street, at Quincy Street and Massasoit Boulevard.
Mm,
606143.
6143. Okay. So we have this one here. This is a city project, correct? Yes, this is a
Yes.
city project. City's reviewing design alternatives, and also we have no activity on this, and we could also use a no schedule. We have no schedule, so we could use a schedule for this one also.
I know that we're Oakland Planning Council is meeting with the city on this project next week, so
Okay.
hopefully some more information at that point in time. Okay. All right, we already talked about that one. Intersection improvements on Route 123, Belmont Street, at Pearl Street and Stonehill Street. Project 612262. Currently not programmed.
I think this one is. Which one is this one? I'm sorry.
That's fine.
612262. Okay. Less than 25% complete. And there was a pre-scoping meeting held in March. I'm not sure if there's been any movement on this project or not.
Okay.
That's my latest updates that I have.
Okay, thank you. And improvements on Forest Avenue from West Street to Gray Street. I know that this is another city project.
Yeah, this one was fairly new. I think this one was just recently
Yeah.
I'm sorry, recently gone through PSC.
Mhm.
Let me see. Which one is this one? 612526.
Yeah, I think the design on this one's on hold pending redevelopment of the fairgrounds and a preferred alternative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can go on to the next one.
Thanks.
No worries. Thank you. Okay, so that's the city of Brockton. So in Duxbury, so we have signal installation at the Route 3 ramps and Route 3A, for 606002.
Yeah, program for
2026.
Far out.
we had a 25%.
I'm sorry, I missed. I kind of broke up right there. Did you say this project had 25% design or?
We had a meeting on it,
Okay.
approaching it if we haven't reached it.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
There
Appreciate
was
it.
a 25%, pre-25% scoping meeting.
There you
All
go.
right.
Yep. Was
Thank
that this week or last week? I can't remember, Val. It was
Thanks,
either the
Pam.
end of last week or the beginning of this week.
think
I
it was
could get the date, Monday.
Thanks, Pam.
Thanks, Pam. I'm glad you're here. I'm kind of updating on the fly, so jump in whenever.
Thank you.
Okay, Duxbury Bridge replacement, the Powder Point Avenue Bridge over Duxbury Bay, also known as the Powder Point Bridge. This is project 612006. This is a very large project. It's advanced construction right now, and federal fiscal years 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030. Any new update on this one?
My updates, I just have that it's less than 25% complete. I don't know if there's been any movement on
Powder
this.
Point,
Yeah.
no, it's pre-25.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
met, is that what you said, Bob? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's okay. Yep.
Okay, yeah, we've had a number of meetings with with Duxbury and the abutting towns, and I think, Bill, you were at a recent one, but beyond that, we're still very preliminary.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Duxbury Bridge replacement, Route 3 over Franklin Street. This is currently programmed 2023.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We have RFQ is issued in December, RFP scheduled for March of this year. So I guess this is
This
design
one,
build,
design build, exactly.
design build, at 25%.
Great, thank you. On to the next one. Right, East Bridgewater. Intersection improvements on Route 18 at West Street and West Street and East Street.
I have nothing on this one at all. I just have that we approved it in January of last year, 21 actually. I don't have any
Okay.
movement on this one at all.
This one and the next one were approved, excuse me, for potential HSIP funding, statewide HSIP or potentially regional, but there hasn't been any advancement yet on either.
Okay. Thank you. Easton corridor improvements on Route 138 from Washington Street to Elm Street.
This one's currently at 75 to 75. Actually, we just completed our review the end of January on this one. So
Okay. I'll note that this is currently programmed in 2025.
Yep.
Next one. Easton, resurfacing related work on Route 138, from Roosevelt Circle to the Stoughton Town Line.
6, 8.
Yeah, I think this is an old resurfacing project that we,
Yeah,
is
I have no,
really-
oh, this goes back to 2016.
yeah,
And
this
we
is
have-
just an old resurfacing.
Yeah, no
project.
activity to date on this one.
We
Okay.
should maybe consider deactivating it.
608, 585. I'm gonna write that down.
I think quite a bit of this has been resurfaced since.
Okay,
It's just an old project.
Bill, can I interject on that one?
sure.
Portions of this project have been paved as part of other projects, but the overall road needs some TLC. Just to keep that in mind before we deactivate the whole thing.
What might be a good idea is to deactivate this and then initiate a new project at some point to address the sections that haven't been yet. I think like north of Union Street, I would say, to the Stoughton line is probably, although you know better than I would, Greg.
Yeah, that's been patched. There's been some, the entire roadway has been maintained and there are various projects that you will see. The previous Elm Street project will take care of a section of that. I've seen plans for paving of Belmont Street in front of Stonehill College, which is state owned. We've had talks about, 138 from Belmont down to Depot and resurfacing that as part of a roadway diet. It might not be a bad idea to take a look at the whole corridor and phase it out and figure out where we're going to tackle certain areas, and so we don't leave anything behind. And I know everything south of Depot all the way down to the Raynham Town line is in pretty tough shape. That's starting to come apart.
Excuse me. Okay, all right, so move on to the next one for now. Easton improvements on Foundry Street, Route 106, Route 123.
I have some updates for that one. TEC received pre-25% comments in November. They're in the process of addressing those, and their plan is to submit those tomorrow. So they should be seeing those. District 5 should be seeing comments to this project sometime in the very near future.
Very good.
Thank you. And also in Easton, reconstruction related work on routes 138 and 123 from Belmont Street to Depot Street.
That was the previous mentioned project, Pam. I think we have talked about this. We had a kind of a quasi just get together and talk about this. I know there was some survey that was done. I don't know where we are in the scheme of things in terms of if we're still putting things together or where that is. That would be more in your court.
Right.
I'm looking it up.
Exactly. Yeah, we had a scoping meeting, and I think we do have a consultant on board. We have the survey. Basically, this section consists of the 3 intersections, signalized intersections, where 123 and 138 run coincidentally. I'd have to look at the schedule. I'm not sure when we're getting a submission, but we have some preliminary work done and meetings.
Bill, I'm sorry. Did we just do a safety audit for this corridor as well?
We did.
We did, yeah.
I believe that was December, I believe.
It was very recent, and I just
Yeah.
want to make sure, this is the same corridor, yeah, with the 3 traffic lights and everything else, so that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't December. It was done by CHA Consulting, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because it wasn't a OCPC hosted one. It was an outside firm.
That's our design consultant for the project. So that's why they did it. They led it.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you. I can move on to the next one. All right, Hanover, corridor improvements on Route 139 at Hanover Street and Main Street. So this is like right in the town center, Center Street and Silver Street. This was a recently PRC approved project. Do we have any update on this?
Survey is complete. We secured a design consultant. And I don't have the schedule in front of me, but they're starting preliminary design, and we will be having a meeting with the town and Old Colony and at some point in the reasonably near future, but it's still pre-25.
Thank you. All right, Hanson, so corridor improvements on Route 14, Walk-on Street from the Pembroke Town Line to Indian Head Street. So I'll, yeah, brief update from our end. So we attended a coordination meeting last week with the town. Several town officials were there, as well as our state legislative delegation representing Hanson and MassDOT District 5. So and this was over the utility underneath the road, which is believed to be owned by the Abington Rockland Water Commission. And so basically the town, there needs to be a subsurface utility exploration performed for this project to before project can advance. So that's where we're at right now. I don't know if
I think Jameson is on the from
Yep.
Hanson.
Nick Jameson.
Yeah, they're looking at different, funding opportunities and what the cost is going to be, if it's cost prohibitive or not. But I know they're trying to still work with Abington Rockland to kind of come to some common ground, but I'm not sure where the engineer and the town are at with them in respects to, if they're having to pursue any legal, options or what their alternatives are. But I know that it's kind of a roadblock at this point.
Mhm.
That meeting was last week, Jamieson?
No, that was with the, that was between DOT. I wasn't at that meeting, but that was between the,
Yeah, I asked them to contact me so I could go to those and they didn't. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, the last one I went to, they were talking about the survey of the, like he just spoke of surveying the location, and then there were concerns about the cost of that. Was the last meeting I attended.
Okay.
Okay. Any other updates on that project before I move on? All right, thank you. So we can move on to the next one. Town of Kingston, bridge replacement, Smith's Lane over Route 3.
This is Val. I could offer.
Sure, thanks, Bill.
We had a meeting, I think it was a couple weeks ago, not that long, like late December, with Bridges. And as I understand it, they, after listening to the different changes around the area, they had initially thought about doing the bridge and 2 off ramps on either side. And before they move further, they want to do a traffic study to update their data and then kind of come back to it. But I think they're on like a 2-year build situation.
Okay. So those be the traffic signals at each Route 3 ramp, the northbound ramps and southbound ramps.
Yeah, they were talking about doing like roundabouts at each of those ramps as a possible solution, which would be really great. But then there may be too much traffic, so they want to update it because of the new apartment building and some other things that are on the horizon.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Plimpton, bridge replacement on the Winnetoxic Road over the Winnetoxic River. It's currently programmed in 2024. Do you have any updates on that? latest I have is preliminary design phase.
Yeah, this is an off-system bridge, so it would be a program with statewide funding. The only responsibility for the town would be any right of way. I think we have received a bridge type study. I apologize. I had a meeting before and I wasn't able to get all my updates in order, but thank you, Barbara.
I have the 25% has been reviewed. We had a comment resolution at the end of December on this one. So I guess next steps would be utility site walk and the DPH, I guess, right? Yeah, so basically the 25s were just completed.
Okay, great. Stoughton, corridor improvements on Route 138. This is currently programmed in 2023 and 2024. I know it.
For this one, this is 607403, correct? Yes, okay. PSNE is came in actually the 30th, so it's under review.
Okay. Thank you. Next one. Thank you. Intersection improvements and related work, Central Street at Canton Street and Tosca Drive, currently programmed in 2023.
Same comment, came in on the 30th, under review, PSNEs.
Great, thank you. Stoughton, reconstruction of Turnpike Street, 607214.
Yeah, 1 minute. 607 214. 75% design was received yesterday. It's
Oh, wow.
under review, yes.
Okay, good.
Sorry, it takes me a while to go through this list to find the numbers.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I know. Trust me, I know. And then next one is Canton Street at School Street and
To be determined.
Yeah, we I believe we're awaiting the 25% design on this. We need a schedule on this one too. So, oh, new schedule, yeah. And this one's
Yeah,
ours.
not sure if there's,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if anyone here is from Stoughton, but we did meet with the town of Stoughton and their designer. And there was some back and forth on the concept. And there's also a railroad crossing that's very close to the intersection. So I believe the town and GPI as their designer are just regrouping and seeing what the impacts are, trying to refine the design, and also reaching out to the Department of Public Utilities for the rail crossing. And
Okay.
we're waiting to hear from them after that.
all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
That might be it. You want to go on to the next page? All right, so that's it. So thanks everyone for your project updates. Truly appreciate it. So yeah, as I mentioned, so yeah, we're developing the 24-28 tip now, and there's going to be a lot of activity on this. So stay tuned.
That it, Bill?
That's it. Unless anyone
I
has any
think we're gonna have
questions.
very busy few years coming down the line. All right,
Yes,
moving
sir.
on to item 7C, Old Colony 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan. Regional Highway Chapter, stakeholder input and discussion and needs of assessment. Ray, this is your ball.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a brief report on our highway chapter, which will consist of an inventory and review of our current highway and roadway network. So we can look at what the problems are. As we do this, we'll be collaborating with stakeholders, and that includes local municipalities as well as Mass DOT. And also involved will be a projection of future volumes and an estimate of roadway use, network use in the future. So that we can develop some potential projects and plans for improvements. As I said, it involves understanding the issues within the roadway network. And these have included traffic volumes and trends on the network, congestion points and bottlenecks, freight movement, understanding freight movement and truck constraints, such as poor turning radii, low bridges, other issues that have to deal with trucks such as rest stops and travel time reliability. And also road surface, pavement, and bridge conditions. We are actually currently conducting our windshield surveys of the pavement surface on federal aid roads right now. We have transitioned to Cartograph, which is a new software. As in the other pavement systems that we've used in the past, it will give us a pavement condition index and estimates on backlogs, costs, or if we want to create budget scenarios, we can do that too. But right now we're in the process of doing the windshield surveys for pavement management. Once we get all our data together, we're going to have, and we do our future projections and estimates, we'll have a final section within the section on recommendations for the highway network that will address the issues and problems as we develop them. So public input is going to be an important element of the highway section, as it is for the long range plan. And this is going to include public surveys and questionnaires, as it has in the past, workshops, table events, and meetings and interviews with local officials and other groups. And this time around, I've been involved in several iterations of the long range transportation plan. Now we have, since COVID, we've been doing a lot of things through Zoom, et cetera. We're going to have webinars. We're planning on webinars also. So this is kind of in a nutshell what's going on with the highway section. If anyone has any questions or comments, I'll be happy to take them.
Okay. That being said, Ray, I have one question or one suggestion. I noticed when they did Route 14 and 18, which is our truck route in Whitman, coming down 14 going on to 18, I thoroughly believe that in the left lane coming down 14, there should be a setback for cars not to be so close to the intersection, so that in fact, if a tractor trailer is coming up on Route 18, wants to take a right on Route 14, there's not a lot of space. And a lot of times I've seen cars having to back up or move so a truck can make that turn. So maybe setbacks in those intersections might be a thought on making it easier for truck routes to tractor trailers to turn, to make their full turn without damaging, either jumping over the sidewalk or possibly hitting another vehicle. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, and that would involve like the stop bar where the vehicles stop
Yeah.
on the approach. Yeah, definitely that should be looked at for that intersection.
Yeah, especially for truck routes, on all truck routes.
Yeah.
You know, they need to be able to make their turn without backing up forward to not to damage anything.
Right, and we've seen that a lot, especially in Brockton, in the downtown. You can actually go around, and I've actually cataloged it in one of our previous studies where the sidewalks are all chewed up and the curbs are chewed up because of the back wheels going onto the sidewalk. Definitely.
Right. So it's something that we, especially as I say, when we designate a truck route, we need to accommodate their needs at intersections. Okay, thank you very much. That was my concern.
Yep. You're welcome.
Moving on to other business, community local technical assistance study. Bill?
Okay, Mr. Chair. So we have a couple of new requests. So the town of Avon has requested a road safety audit on South Street in the area of DW Field Park. So we'll be doing that road safety audit this spring. And another road safety audit request, this one in town of Halifax. They requested a road safety audit for Plymouth Street, Route 106 at Pine Street, and same, this audit will be conducted this spring. And then on your screen, you can see the status update of the other LTA projects that we're currently working on.
That it?
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item B, 8B, staff review on the ENF, EIR, and the NPCs. Kyle, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First up, we have a new project. It's a FEIR rollover in Brockton, the Ellis Brett Pond Dam repairs. The proposed repairs are the removal of brush, stumps, and root systems from within 20 feet of the dam. Unstable portions of the dike will be regraded. Regrading of the embankment at the dam. Providing vegetated articulated concrete block matting. Restore gravel access drive along the dike to uniform elevation. And the grass area down gradient of the wetland flags will be restored with a mowable native wetland or conservation seed mix. You can go to the next page. Thank you. Next, we have some certificates. The first one is for the Ellis Brett Pond Dam repairs in Brockton. The states that the project requires the submission of an environmental impact report. Next is in the town of Plymouth, Doyle Aquaculture. The certificate states that this project does not require an EIR. Next is in the town of Plymouth, Light Station Mixed Sediment Berm. The certificate states that this project does not require an EIR. And finally, we have a public notice for the town of Abington. It's a notice of intent to initiate an aquatic plant management program. And that concludes my MIPA report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to 8C regional.
Mr. Chair, if I
Mary's
just
hand,
could,
yeah.
just for a
I
quick second,
apologize. Yes,
because
question.
I don't know if, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted just to weigh in because, so Kyle will be going on parental leave, and I know by the next meeting he will not be here, but I just want to always thank Kyle for adding this to the reports because I think it's a great venue for all of those on here to hear it. So thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Yes, I agree. Okay, that being said, moving on to C, regional concerns and local community transportation issues. Does anyone have any? Saying none. I'd like to.
Can I just interrupt for a moment? I just want to thank you, Dan, so much.
Okay, Noreen, you made it, huh?
For doing the meeting. Yeah, I just got here only 15 minutes ago. Never thought it would take so long, but again, I extend my thanks and so sorry for everybody. I was so late today, but thanks everybody.
Thanks, Noreen. It was a very productive meeting. A lot of information. I want to thank it all. Okay, that being said, we need a motion to adjourn. Oh, when is our next meeting?
That would be March 2nd.
March 2nd. All right, just to let everybody know. Okay, thank you. So I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we don't need the roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done. Thank you very much. See you next month.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.